Good. Good afternoon. My name is Barbara Fuller, and as Chair of the Board, I welcome you to this April 1st, 2025 regular meeting of the Washtenaw County Board of Road Commissioners. Our office coordinator, Aaron Smith, will describe how our meetings operate, how to access the agenda packet, and how people may participate remotely. Aaron.
Thanks, Chair Fuller. There are multiple ways to make public comment during today's board meeting, whether you're joining us in person or virtually. If you're here in person and would like to make comment, please fill out the sign-in sheet now. If you're joining us virtually, we will ask you to raise your hand at the appropriate time in the agenda. If you're joining us virtually and are experiencing technical issues with audio or video during the meeting, submit a comment in the chat feature and we will help you troubleshoot. If you would like closed captioning during this meeting, you'll have to manually change your settings. Click on the captions button and select show captions. The audio and video of this meeting is being recorded and a link to the recording will be posted to our website in the next few days. There are printed copies of today's meeting agenda on the table near the front door, and it'll also be posted on our website. And now I'll turn it back over to Chair Fuller.
Thank you. I now call this April 1st, 2025 regular meeting to order and ask Aaron to call the roll.
Chair Barb Fuller.
Present.
Vice Chair Rod Green.
Present.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Present.
And Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Present.
And then the following directors are in attendance. Our Director of Operations, Adam Leap. Our Director of Engineering and County Highway Engineer, Brent Schlack. And then our Director of Finance, Dan Ackerman.
All right. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Support. I'm sorry.
Any discussion? Seeing none, Aaron, if you would, please.
Commissioner Rod Green.
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
And Commissioner Bart Fuller.
Yes, the agenda is approved as presented. We have two sets of minutes to accept today. May I have a motion to accept the board meeting minutes of March 18th, 2025 on pages 3 through 13?
So moved. Second.
Additions, deletions, corrections? Seeing none, Aaron, if you would, please.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green.
Yes.
And Commissioner Bart Fuller.
Yes, the March 18th board meeting minutes are accepted as presented. May I have a motion to accept the working session minutes of March 18th, appearing on pages 14 through 16 of the packet?
So moved. Support.
Any discussion, additions, deletions, or corrections? Aaron, if you would, please.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green.
Yes.
And Commissioner Bart Fuller.
Yes, the working session minutes of March 18th, 2025 are accepted as presented. I do not see our county commission liaison with us. Is that correct, Mr. Quinter?
That's correct.
All right, we will move on. Public comment. This is the time set aside on the agenda to receive comments from the public. This is not intended to be a period for dialogue. Each person will be allotted 3 minutes to address the board, and Aaron will explain how people may be recognized to offer comments.
Thanks, Chair Fuller. Since this is a hybrid meeting with both in-person and virtual attendees, we will take turns between those attending in person and virtually. For our virtual attendees, we have provided some instructions on the screen on how to participate and make comment. If you're attending this meeting virtually and would like to make comment, please raise your hand now. If you dialed into the meeting from your phone, you can raise your hand by dialing *9. We will unmute virtual participants with raised hands one at a time and will announce your username or the last 4 digits of your phone number when it is your turn to speak. And then please share your name and address before beginning your comments. Then for our in-person attendees, we will start with those who have signed up on the sign-in sheet as you walked in. If you didn't sign in, you're still welcome to make comment. We'll notify you when it is your turn.
Are there any hands raised at this time?
We do not have anyone.
We will move on to written communications appearing on pages 17 and 18 of the packet. Commissioners, anything you wish to draw our attention to? All right. There was no public comment, so there's no need to respond. New business consent agenda. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda items 1 through 10? The motions appear on pages 20 through 24 with the background on pages 25 through 45.
So moved.
Support.
Anything you wish to ask about or draw our attention to, commissioners?
Madam Chair, I'd like
Yes.
to mention that number 8, the Gettys Road Pathway Project. I'm very, very happy to see that moving forward. I've already seen things that the commission has done. It looks great.
Good,
Thank you.
good. Okay. All right. If there's nothing further, Aaron, if you would, please.
Commissioner Joy McCollum.
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green.
Yes,
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
And Commissioner Bart Fuller.
Yes, the consent agenda is approved, items 1 through 10. We have no action items on our agenda today. We will move to the report of the road commissioners, starting with Commissioner Smurs.
Last week, I attended the conference. I believe it was 25th and 26th. And that concludes my report.
All right, Commissioner Green?
thank you, Madam Chair. March 25th through the 27th, I also attended the County Road Association Conference. It was a very good conference. That concludes my report.
All right, Commissioner McCollum?
Yes, Madam Chair. On March 25th, I attended the County Road Association of Michigan Commissioners Committee meeting. The discussions included a recap of new commissioners workshop, and the 2025 webinar topic was discussed. Also, the 2026 seminar for next year, and on continuing biannual new commissioners workshop or moving towards an annual event for that workshop. That was our discussion at that meeting. On March 26th, I attended the 2025 Highway Conference. The Highway Conference provides chances to learn and grow together. The Commissioner's track included evaluating your manager, its launching pad, don't be a couch potato or a yes person. The keynote speaker was Benny Fowler III, using sports coaching techniques to inspire minds. Mr. Fowler's talk centered around communication. I was moderator for the Impress Showcase 2024 Contenders Award. I also attended the communication track, Good Communication, Managing Public, Ask with our very own Aaron Smith, Office Coordinator. I really enjoyed this presentation, and Aaron represented the Washtenaw County Road Commission proudly. This concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Yamas has an excused absence today. She's not feeling well. I will report that on March 21st, I attended a meeting with Derek Jackson, Washtenaw County's Racial Equity Officer, to discuss employee recruitment. Also attending were Matt McDonnell, our Managing Director, Nicole Peterson, our HR Manager, and Adam Lape, our Director of Operations. On March 25th through the 27th, I too attended the annual County Road Association Highway Conference in Lansing. I would like to reiterate that we were proudly represented by presenters Commissioner Joanne McCollum and Aaron Smith, as well as Adam Lape accepting the Impress Award for Washtenaw County Road Commission by describing our dry run process. I want to note we're also active on various committees. I know Commissioner Green's on a committee, I'm on a committee, you're on a committee. Jeff is looking to be on a committee. And we have staff as well. Adam, you're the former president of the Superintendent's Association of Michigan. Seems like, Dan, you've worn a hat before, and Brent, have you been part of that? I think Nicole has been, Matt has been. So we really do have a lot of engagement with our County Road Association of Michigan. All right. Staff reports. We're going to move on to the staff reports that start on page 46 through 59. And sitting in for Matt McDonnell today is Adam Lape, Director of Operations. Adam.
Thank you. Since sitting in for Matt, I will go ahead and forward it to Brent here to do the engineering report, and then Diane Ackerman here for the finance report after that.
Hello, good afternoon. Brent Schlack, Director of Engineering. First off, last meeting, during the working session, there was a request to modify the federal aid spreadsheet. So I've taken that and I've modified it. I have a copy here, but I can send it to the board as well. And that has what's been obligated. We did, it's a live document. So we did have some other items on there that needed to be added. We also added some like a key for some of the acronyms. So I can supply that electronically, but I also have a copy here. So maybe after the meeting, if you're interested, I can provide you a copy.
You have one copy or you have?
I have
copies
copy for everyone.
Perfect. Thank you.
As far as active road construction, we have our 24 congestion mitigation air quality grant, which is traffic signal improvements along multiple intersections. That one's ongoing. We have a high-risk railroad safety grant that's for Workner, Island Lake, Stouffer, Old 12. That included some centerline rumbles, some permanent sign upgrades. We have some work left to do on that. There was a carryover into this year for the high friction surface on 6 curves within those roadways. Our Bemis Road reconstruction project from Stony Creek to Hitchingham. That's between Augusta and Ypsilanti Township. I'm happy to report that DTE Gas has relocated their facilities. We're working with AT&T to get their connections made. And then our contractor is scheduled to start here in early May. Tyler Road, the dam repairs, the Erie Construction's the contractor on that. They are continuing construction. Some of the rain has hampered some of that progress, but they're still marching forward. That's fingers crossed, weather dependent. We're hoping to have that open prior to Memorial Day.
So can I stop? You're probably wondering too, what's involved with the dam? That's
So
not our project then, right? We don't do dams.
yeah, so it's actually the roadway is what we're reconstructing. So the dam is actually intact. Whenever we had that flood that came
Mhm.
through, the dam stayed intact, and actually the bridge that is on top of the dam is still in. I mean, it's in fair condition, and it's the roadway, the approach to that we're repairing. I
Okay.
think we just refer to it as the dam because that's just to give
Because
it.
you know.
Yeah, as you know, right. Yeah. Yeah.
I get it, Commissioner
Yeah, I
McCollum.
had a question about, someone questioned me about that and wondering, with all the, what's going on there and the amount that, is being spent to repair it, they said that it seemed like that wasn't enough funds to repair all what was going on there. And how long is that repair going to last?
So it is it's not a long-term fix. It's certainly gonna allow us to reopen the road.
Okay,
And the pavement will be in decent shape to last us probably 10 years or so. But it's not a long-term fix. The dam itself, I know Water Resource Commission has done a study to evaluate that and evaluate potential removal and so that would ultimately be the long-term fix for that. But we wanted to do these, I want to call it temporary, but we wanted to do this kind of temporary fix to get the road reopened. We have some folks with the airport that are, kind of having to reroute themselves due to this closure. And so this project will allow us to reopen Tyler Road.
thank you.
So it buys us a little time until
It
the longer
does.
term solution can be.
It does, yeah, it does. And we'll continue to work with
Fund.
Water Resource Commission and, of course, any of our federal partners to try and look for additional money.
Okay.
Park and Stabler, that's a permanent project. That contractor's out there working now. Again, the weather, the wetness of that grade is impacting, and of course, our asphalt plants are not open yet. But the contractor's out there trying to make sure that grade is ready for when those asphalt plants open up to be able to pave that road.
So Stabler's going to be paved in its entirety?
So it'll be Park Road from the entrance to the subdivision.
On Z?
No, so if you were to go from Stabler, it's about, what would that be, 2,000 feet or so from Stabler. And so from that point to Z will remain gravel. I don't know
Could
if I
be-
can plug
So
in
I'm-
and show you.
so- Go ahead. Can you show? can you show
Yeah, I
me?
may be able to show 'em a map.
My brain's not
Yeah.
seeing it, Brent. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
hold on, let me pull it up.
So you're going to finish Park up to Stabler?
Mhm.
Yes.
So essentially west from the new developments, the new development there,
Yep.
west to Stabler Road will be upgraded to paved asphalt. And
Okay.
then that intersection at Stabler and Park will go north and connect to the existing pavement already on Stabler, probably another 1,000 feet or so.
But Stabler won't be paved in its entirety.
I don't know.
It will technically from Park Road all the way to Jackson.
Duplicate.
Park to Jackson.
Yep,
And it's not currently, right?
all but a short portion, maybe 1,000 feet or so
Okay.
of Stabler currently. The
And that
southern
was a
end there.
culvert thing, wasn't it? We went from,
Well, so that was part of the development, which Brent can talk about.
oh, that's helpful. Thank you.
Yep,
There you
so
go.
here's the new subdivision entrance here. So it's gonna be paved from here to Stabler Road.
Oh, okay.
And so you can see this is the drain
Yep.
and it
yep.
crossed the road twice, Park Road and Stabler. And then we had to realign this so that it had one crossing.
So where's the crossing now, Brent?
It's basically kind of through the intersection.
Oh, it cuts diagonally. Interesting.
Yep.
And what's
So-
the ETA for,
So we're hoping that by summertime that the road will be opened.
okay,
There's still additional work that needs to happen along Stabler. There's actually another another bridge that needs to be removed, part of this development. And so they're working on that portion now, but the main focus is the Park Road.
mhm.
The paving of Park Road from the subdivision entrance to Stabler.
And then does the developer bear the cost for this additional
They do.
crossing?
That was part of a road improvement agreement that came before the board.
So Stabler will be closed again when that gets
Yes,
fixed?
yes.
Big message boards, lots of notice, all of that, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
we understand and we get what this community or this area has had to go through for this project and potentially future projects. So we certainly understand and we're doing everything we can to try and expedite this project and the future one.
My goodness.
Okay. So I'll unplug there, get back to list. As far as bids, so we have Ellsworth Road between Platt and Carpenter Road. That is out to bid. And that actually within that bid, we're gonna be doing experimental pavement where we're gonna have rubberized asphalt, where they're gonna inject rubberized where they crush the rubber tires. And so we're gonna have a portion of that, have that ingredient included within the asphalt. So we've broken down the segment of Ellsworth Road. So basically from I-94 to Platt, that'll be our control section where we will do regular asphalt. And then from 94 to Carpenter will be the rubberized experimental pavement.
Hmm.
And so then we'll be able to observe that. That's in coordination with Michigan Tech. So we'll be able to observe that over time and see how that performs. Also, we have a bid out with
Oh,
the,
I'm sorry, Brent,
Yep.
stop.
go ahead.
I was writing Jeff, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
What's your expectations with the rubber injected?
we've heard great things. So a lot of counties in the like Bay City area have used it, and a lot of other ones have incorporated in their regular paving operations. And so we've heard some really good things. And, you know, of course, it's utilizing scrap tires, which are hard to get rid of. So we're hopeful. We're seeing we're really curious on how these bids will come out. because we think we're unsure on how the costs will relate. But there is a big benefit, and hopefully we see that as we look at our PASER ratings in the future for this segment. So Michigan Tech will be right there with us doing their evaluation and making sure that this goes down appropriately, but then long-term evaluating that. Of course, they want to have it be successful too. So,
Right. Right, thanks.
yeah.
Commissioner Green?
Is there an expectation that there'll be some cost benefits?
We're unsure. Right now, we're utilizing an Eagle Energy Great Lakes or Environmental Great Lakes Energy grant to cover the difference in cost. So we are seeing there isn't an additional cost, but because they have to bring in equipment to the plant to be able to inject this rubberized material into the asphalt. So that's why we're curious on how much this is actually going to cost and what the difference is. Hopefully we see long-term, the ratings of our road long-term, the longevity of this pavement, we hope we see that. And then that would outweigh that additional cost for that equipment to be at the plant.
Thank you.
Well, we also have our 2025 CMAQ, which is it's a congestion mitigation air quality. That's for signal improvements along Carpenter, Michigan Ave, Ellsworth, Hewitt, Dixboro, Packard, Hanover Drive. Those are in the MDOT April letting, which are set to open this Friday. Also within that April letting is Dexter Chelsea Road, our preventative maintenance paving, and Curtis Road. I can get you the limits of those actually. So Curtis Road is from Plymouth to Joy in Superior Township. And then Dexter Chelsea is, we call it Freer to Dancer, but it's actually just a little bit east of Freer because it had to follow the urban boundary, or it had to be in the rural boundary area. And not to confuse everybody with the difference in federal funding, but our federal dollars, we have federal dollars that we can allocate to the urban boundary area and those that we can allocate to the rural area. Well, the funds for Dexter Chelsea are in the rural, but the urban boundary for Chelsea, which is a small urban, is actually just east of Freer. And so our project couldn't go west of that point because of the funding that we're using. Again, not to confuse everyone. Also within the April letting this Friday is the Gettys Road pathway. So that one we'll understand who the contractor is this Friday. We also have our countywide traffic calming bid out. That's being advertised right now. Right now it has for Foster Ave. That's the one location. We do have the ability to add additional locations once that's bid out, but those are due April 10th. The last topic that I have is we do have a bid out for our sign material for posts. Those are due April 3rd. So we're hoping that costs we know steel is fluctuating, and we're hoping that those costs come in within budget. So aside from that, staff is working on 26 projects and ramping up for the remainder of construction for 25. So unless there's any other questions, that's it. My report.
So Brent, bottom line on that spreadsheet you've got that takes us through 2029 federal dollars, what's that number? I think it was like 42 million the last time I looked.
53,
53
almost 54 million. Yeah. So we see a huge benefit in our federal projects. Brings a lot of money to our roadway system. And, but with that, we have to follow their rules and go through their hoops. And sometimes that can be a long process, but we have staff here that understands that process and we can move pretty efficiently through it.
It's my understanding the Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, I think his name is, issued a memo with respect to how funding was going to be prioritized for distribution. Have you?
I have not seen that. I have not seen that. We did get notification that there was notice of funding opportunity for the Safe Streets for All, which we have a project out there now waiting to get approved. But they did submit that, which is promising, that they're standing by those dollars for projects that are potentially eligible for that funding.
Did you have a question?
No, I don't.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Lake?
Thanks, Brent.
Yeah.
We'll have Dan Ackerman come up here for the finance report now.
Good afternoon, Board. Dan Ackerman, Director of Finance. Let's start by talking about Michigan Transportation Funds. We received our February, or we at least received the notice on the amount we'll receive for MTF for February. And February of 2025 was up about 2% from February of 2024. Year to date, we're up 3%. I'm not gonna have a party quite yet, because as you know, it fluctuates. And
I'm Dan.
and as I shared with the board last time, the state of Michigan has lowered their projections. So, hopefully the trend continues, but, I've been doing this long enough to know that it's only 2 months and we have a long way to go on that.
Yeah.
And I know the conference that all of you attended, there was discussion about potential new money. And, I always, it's great that there are those discussions, but to me, it's talk until we see action and until we actually see that money. So hopefully that, those talks continue and something materializes out of that. And I don't know if there was anything that was said that, is getting closer to what the game plan is, but was there anything that was shared with the group at all, or?
Correct me if commissioners, you heard something different, but it's my understanding that the legislature is on break for 3 weeks. And that the package of bills from the House were approved, sent to the Senate, but
Okay.
the Senate hasn't taken them up yet. And I have not heard what the Senate's inclination is with respect to that package of bills, modifying it, putting their own forward. But I think they're still out this week, would it be? And next week, or just?
I think both, the way they made it sound.
Yeah,
Seems
because
like-
when we were there, they said they're out for 3 weeks, and that was last week.
Yeah.
So that would be this
Couple
week
more
and next
weeks.
week. So that takes us almost to Easter, I think.
Madam Chair, in our commissioners meeting, we talked about doing a seminar on funding, but we're gonna wait till October.
Mm.
Because we think by
Okay.
October,
Uh-huh.
things should be settled and we
Mhm.
know what's coming and what's not.
And that kind of makes sense because that's the start of their fiscal
Right,
year is
October
October.
1.
So,
October 1st,
yeah, I think there's a lot of, that makes sense. And the governor also had a different plan, right? I mean,
Probably.
To increase the funding, but so
It's the how.
hopefully they can
Mhm.
decide on something. I mean, it's good that they all seem, the House, the Senate, governor's office seems to be talking that, more money is needed. It's
Right.
just, I guess they need to decide on a path and
Mhm.
everybody has to be satisfied on how it's divvied out, I guess, so.
Right.
So stay tuned on that, but, like I said, good news on the Michigan Transportation Funds, but I take it a little bit with a grain of salt
Yeah.
because it does fluctuate, so, but we shall see. Besides that, working on finalizing first quarter budget documents. Of course, our, April 15th,
Yeah.
working session. We'll have Plant Moran here talking about our 2024 financials. And then we'll go right into our first quarter budget. So always one of my favorite working sessions of the year. Probably right after this meeting almost, Aaron and I will be getting together on coordinating all the many documents we'll be sharing with you. And of course, the goal is to get everything to the board prior to the working session. So we've let Plant Moran know we need all of their information prior to and including their PowerPoint presentation.
Right.
just so the board has time to go over everything, but, you know, we're in a pretty good spot. We've had several meetings as a leadership team with the departments and just have to kind of finalize a few things, but, we'll definitely be ready to go. And like I said, it's always one of my favorite working sessions, so.
So Dan, the commissioners should watch for that information, the Friday before the April 15th meeting, probably? End
Thursday,
of day,
Friday.
that Friday.
Mhm.
And if you want hard copies, let Erin know and she can print them and put them in your box and you can pick them up at your leisure.
Yes.
But I'd say set aside a couple of hours that weekend to go through those.
There certainly is a lot of information we'll be throwing at you
Mhm.
between 2024, first quarter 25, PowerPoint presentation, the huge narrative that we have. So there'll
Mhm.
definitely be a lot of reading material for you, but,
Sounds like fun, huh? Dan?
yeah, well, it is, you know, for me. Um, and certainly, you know, come with your questions, because,
Right.
you know, we enjoy answering your questions, or hopefully answering your questions. So, but it's always a good back and forth. We want to have a discussion and a dialogue that time, so.
Right.
Besides that, continuing to work on our Act 51 report. We want to make sure we get that in by May 1st. You know, to make sure that we get that in timely. And believe it or not, we're working on quarter one reports. It's already the end of the first quarter of 2025.
Yeah.
Time just flies by. So there's a lot of quarterly reports that the finance department has to prepare. So we're working on those to make sure we can submit all those timely as well. And that's my report.
Okay. Welcome back, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Any questions for Dan? Thank you. Thanks. Adam?
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, so filling in for Matt, and Juna joined a few days off still, so I'll give the operations report, from my standpoint. Talked a little bit last week with Barb about how the local road program comes together,
Mhm.
and just kind of some of the excitement and how we build the year. So you all know we talk about it frequently, but, as of this afternoon, you know, we'll probably have, I believe it'll be 8 agreements by the end of the next board meeting.
8
that-
out of,
8 out of the 20. And so our team, which consists of, depending on what type of project we're talking about, the great team for engineering, we have our superintendents, our foreman, Tiffany Lobostal, which is our operations clerk. We've sent 16 of the 20 townships some information. 4 townships are still isolating their budget for the year. So we're just giving them that time. So we'll continue that planning with them through April, and, you know, hopefully culminate there in mid-May so we can move things forward and continue on. But a good number of townships have a few $1 million worth of work in front of us. So we're going to start hauling limestone in District 5 region, so kind of the south and east portion of the county, probably within the next week and a half, 2 weeks, as the weather kind of squares itself up a little bit. We're ready for stone on some of those roads. So it's been an exciting time this year. We did talk about a lot last week, you know, with changes in the township boards. You know, there's a lot of education. So we did the Roads 101 event this year, which was an education session with really the entire agency, just who we are, what do we do. And so a lot of good conversations. It was exciting to talk to some of the township representatives at the time, just seeing that eagerness, really trying to learn things. So it's an exciting moment to see it all start to come together. So, you know, this will be year one for a lot of the supervisors and a lot of the board members. And then hopefully next year, you know, we can really get asset management planning going with a lot of the townships and keep things moving. So it's been a good opportunity to work through the year. A lot of new faces. So it's been fun for us to kind of hit the pavement and meet some of these groups. I think we're probably going to go to some of the southwest townships in the county in the next couple of weeks, just really to connect with some of the people that have been there before, but then some new board members, and just try to help them plan a little bit into the future.
Any feedback on our Roads 101 program from the people you've talked to so far?
Good so far. The conversations, I enjoyed a lot of the conversations. We had high-level funding conversations from the engineering standpoint and perspective when we were in the room that I overheard, and then a little more simplified local road planning and asset management plans where the roads aren't developing or going to get any larger, any wider, any longer. We're just practicing methods of how we're going to maintain them. So those conversations were certainly ongoing with my team and myself when we were having the lunch downstairs. But yeah, it's been positive feedback with everyone. Like I say, it's a good opportunity to kind of talk about who we are, showcase who we are. And we're hearing that, you know, from county officials, township officials, it's really, I think, showing a lot of the skill set we have on our staff. So it's been a good opportunity this year to
Great.
do that. So
Great.
I think it's a good thing. We should continue.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Commissioners, any questions on anything else in the reports at the end of the packet? No? Okay. Thank you, Adam.
Welcome.
All right, we have a whole bunch of reminders that you can see on page 2 of the packet. Tomorrow is chat session with Commissioner Yamas. If you can let me know if that's not going to work so that somebody else can pinch it, I'll step in if it needs to happen.
Okay.
Spring training, 7 a.m. Off we go on April 3rd. That's Thursday. 9th is the chat with Commissioner McCollum. The 10th, the Saline Chamber of Commerce has a legislative luncheon planned, and I believe, Brent, you're going to be presenting on behalf of the, again, you did that last time, didn't you? Did a nice job. There will be others of us in attendance to show our support for Brent and his presentation, as well as being available to the others that are present who may have questions. April 15th is the Washtenaw County Road Commission's next blood drive. I just checked this afternoon. There are lots of opportunities to donate blood. If you're inclined to do that, please go in and sign up. If you need help with the link, I'm sure Aaron can provide that for you. April 16th is Commissioner Smers on chat. Summer hours start on April 17th. That's when we shift to 4 10-hour days. And those days run from 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. April 18th, the Road Commission is closed for the holiday weekend. And then moving on through the rest of the month, the 23rd, I'm staffing chat. And on April 30th, Commissioner Green, you're staffing chat. Did I miss anything? No? All right. If there's no further business to come before the board, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Support.
If you would, please, Aaron.
Commissioner Joanne McCollum.
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smers.
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green.
Yes.
and Commissioner Barb Fuller.
Yes, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you next at spring training, and everybody else out there listening, we'll see you on April 15th.